Hey there, folks. It's the frequency from beyond space and time, at the same time, every time. You're listening to Mad Tower Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Mad Tower Radio. We missed you. I know it's been a little bit, and very sorry that we haven't been here, but it's the holidays, man. Thanksgiving, back to back with Christmas. Y'all know how it is. How have you guys been? How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Mine was fire, man. You know, we and it was fire as in good because there was a lack of fire. Not last Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving before that, both of our turkeys lit on fire, and our oven was like spewing flames out of it. Yeah, dude.
What do you mean it lit on fire?
So essentially, what happened is, we were gonna make two birds, make two turkeys, and that morning, my dad went to go pull the first turkey out, and he dropped it, so the turkey was like sliding on the floor, so we had to throw it out. Then the second turkey that they threw in there, my sister and I had left to go pick up my uncle, and we get a call. We're like not even like 5 minutes away from the house, and we get a call on my sister's car, and we answer it, and it's my mom. She just goes, fire, fire. And so then my sister and I turn the car on and speed back. And at this point in my life, I had a really bad leg injury, so I'm walking around with a cane, so I look like Bob Cratchit. And I come running up the stairs, and I get to the kitchen, and like my dad is like standing there like screaming, and my mom is like yelling, and not our landlord, but the property manager has like his head in our oven, and there's like flames shooting out of the oven, and he's blasting it with a fire extinguisher. The fire department showed up, dude. There was a fire extinguisher everywhere. Everything that they had cooked was worthless now because it was covered in fire extinguisher foam. So that being said, this year was great because we actually had food to eat. 2 years ago, do you know what I had for Thanksgiving dinner? Brown's chicken. Like mac and cheese and buffalo bites.
Nice.
That's classic, bro. I had for the second year in a row an all vegetarian Thanksgiving, and it kind of whipped. It was kind of good.
Nice. Like
I ate at a fucking IHOP in New Orleans on Thanksgiving.
Oh, do they have any like special like Thanksgiving IHOP dip?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, me and
me
my wife took a trip to New Orleans for Thanksgiving because we're like, fuck it. Instead of splitting our time 3 ways between my mom, my dad, and your family, let's just fucking take a little weekend trip. And we hadn't been to New Orleans yet. And we went and did not know that the Saints were playing on Thanksgiving in New Orleans. So it was a little fucking busy that night.
Oh, yes.
And so we went to IHOP, the only place without a line.
Back like what the Native Americans and the Mayflowerians ate back then. The Grand Slam, a classic.
The Bald Eagle Burger.
Chicken and waffles, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, New Orleans is pretty cool, I guess. Cities, I just don't like them. But, I tried to have a good time. It was all right.
The residential, rural men here on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
That's you.
Did you find any cool voodoo stuff while you were out there? There's a lot of voodoo embedded in the history of New Orleans.
So I was looking for it, and we went to the Marie Laveau's fucking House of Voodoo Horrors and shit like that, and I was like absolutely entranced, for the first like 5 minutes I was in there until I realized like this is all fucking mass-produced shit from like China.
Mass-produced shrunken heads.
I'm not gonna get anything authentic here, am I? I'm gonna have to go like down into the bayou like some fucking True Detective shit if I want like a legit voodoo doll or something.
Go find the Quiniela.
But I bought a book about voodoo and I was gonna do a topic for it for the show, but that book was dry as fuck.
Damn.
That book was so dry, man.
Good thing that our other book review is going to be on House of Leaves. That'll be for a good episode.
That'll be juicy.
Mm-hmm. When you finish the book, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it was...
start it.
Oh, you're not even on it yet?
No, I'm not even. I've been so busy, but I have it purchased. Worry. So, I mean, I've heard from both of you that like once you pick it up, it's like, okay, picked it up and now I finished it because it's just like you can't put it down kind of deal.
That's exactly how it's going to go.
I think it's going to like kind of like stagger my reading of it as like taking notes and stuff like that to talk about. But other than that, once I sink my teeth into a book, it's over. I bought a Warhammer 40K book like 2 days ago. And that, like, some bitch was, like, 900 pages long, and I read it in an afternoon.
Jesus.
So, yeah, I could see myself finishing that book. And I've wanted to read House of Leaves for a very long time, because I'm a huge Stalker fan, and a lot of people are like, there's, like, a lot of similarities with House of Leaves and Stalker. And I was like, I don't understand what you mean by that, so I'm going to check it out. But now that, you know, I'm doing it for work.
That's interesting.
You know, I'm taking a look at it.
I did not think that's what you meant. I didn't know you were talking about the video game. I'm like, yeah, bro, I love stalking.
Big
too.
stalker, you know?
I'm a big over there stalking. Dan's over there stalking cryptids in the bayou is what he means out there. Hunt Showdown.
That's true, man. I'm there, Cryptid.
The cryptids run from Dan.
I'm out there with my little lean-to, my ghillie suit. Don't even see me. I'm out there for days.
Smoking Black and Milds to keep all the mosquitoes away. I got you.
Wine tips. Yes, sir. Well, I mean, we usually don't fucking bullshit about our days for this long at the beginning because we're not interesting people. So earlier today, Christian told me that he picked his topic specifically to scare me. So I've been waiting with anticipation to hear what it is.
Oh, absolutely. So I thought it was a bit serendipitous that we began with a spirited Thanksgiving talk, and it combines kind of well with Dan's noted fear of Earth's animals gaining sentience and like societal intelligence.
Like Frog and Toad.
It's true.
Like the time that I went into detail and told Dan about how monkeys were entering the Stone Age, and now he lies awake at night fearing them.
It's true. I don't. No, fuck them.
And
the faster they figure out how to make fire, that's the faster they pick up a gun and start shooting back.
Well, you've got something new to worry about, because just last month on November the 19th, in the House of Commons, I believe. Now, I'm going to fuck this all up. I don't understand the lawmaking apparatus of the United Kingdom. So I'm just going to start saying shit. But the House of Commons worked on and is getting ready to pass a bill granting new protections over lobsters, crabs, octopus, and cephalopods.
Oh.
Because of a recent study from the London School of Economics claiming that they have an enhanced and respectable amount of sentience and empathy.
That's probably the most British thing you could ever do.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean? They're going to give it to the crabs? They're like, what did they like give them, like a sentience test, like a math test or something?
Absolutely. They found them to be, you know, of a certain amount of intelligence, of like social skills. The ability to feel pain was one that they were harping on a lot in the report. And they were.
What social skills does a fucking crab have?
Have you tried talking to one?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No.
No, that's your problem then.
Because he's not approachable.
What type of social skills do
That's
you
social
have?
skills.
The general like push for it was to add these kinds of creatures on par with invertebrates. Like everybody looks at, you know, a dog or a squirrel or something and they're like, oh, you know, that's like a living, breathing creature deserving of respect. But if you look at like a mushy fucking squid in the ocean, it's easier to be like, that's a hell demon. I don't care about it.
Rightly so.
Sure.
You find yourself feeling this way?
Yeah, very much so.
So that's...
If I see a squirrel, whatever. If I see like a giant squid, you know, something we only discovered in 2,000 fucking for it, yeah, I'm fucking shooting first, asking questions later.
Oh, you hear that, fellow cephalopod listeners? Don't approach Dan or he's gonna blast you.
Hey, if you're a shrimp,
crab blaster.
it's on site.
It is on site with shrimp, truly. A fucking sea cockroach.
They've pushed it far enough to state that the commercial selling of squid and octopus is no longer economically viable. It can't be done in a way that grants them respect. And, like humanity, like to treat them in a humane way. There's no way to, like, mass sell them in the way that the English economy does.
I see.
And on the back of this is a ban on boiling that is getting worked in as well. You can't, buy a lobster, take it home, and slap it into a pot of water.
So the UK just said you're no more seafood? Pretty much?
I mean, you can have fish, you can have lobsters, you can even still process them. But for example, when you are slaughtering lobsters, you have to stun them, numb them first before you kill them. You can't just boil them alive.
You can't just take the old fucking scissors to the back of the head?
I think that's what they're talking about. Wait, I thought that's what you could do. I mean, I'm just going based off what Gordon Ramsay had said, and he was like, this is the most humane way to kill a lobster, and like he just popped a knife into the back of its head, and like he's like, it's instantly dead, and if it's still alive,
Exactly.
It can't feel anything, so...
He's like, this is the most humane way to kill a lobster.
Bit its head off.
He just pulls out a 12 gauge.
He just blows it apart.
The point being is they don't want them to be suffering. They don't want them to be boiled alive. You just lop them off, get it over with, and get on with selling the parts. And this is something that has been adopted in places like Switzerland, Norway, I think New Zealand, and Austria. So it's a movement that's sort of beginning to grow in popularity. They're like, maybe we shouldn't be eating these ultra smart, or like at least on par intelligent creatures as much as we do now. And the UK pulls about 420 million of these newly protected sea creatures every year.
Oh,
it's kind of cool. Well, not cool, but like, cool. Yeah, I hate seeing animals hurt, or anything hurt. But it's kind of wild that they're doing that because they're kind of limiting their, a kind of a delicacy almost. And I've been watching some videos on how Brexit has affected UK fishermen and those who are in like the fish and like seafood industry. So they just essentially cut out like a huge thing that would. That they're able to sell unless there's no natural lobster or squid, I guess, areas in the UK, because I know that since they're not part of the EU, they can't use EU fishing lanes anymore.
Mm-hmm. They have to be like more self-sustaining when it comes to some of these products.
So maybe, who knows? Maybe that's forcing people to buy more, because that's one thing I watched in this video. They're trying to get people to eat the fish that are located like in the English Channel or whatever, as opposed to getting stuff from overseas because it's highly taxed now. Who knows? Maybe it's all like they don't care about the lobster or squid. They're like, come eat our dirt fish from here in the English Channel. Because
eat our fucking mud snakes, bro.
It kind of reminds me of the episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where like Charlie and Frank, they're like, we're crabmen now, and they're like catching crab in like the Boston River or something like that.
I would not eat a crab out of the Susquehanna. No, sir, would I not.
Man,
it's like that's kind of like what they're trying to like make the British people eat now. Like, it's funny because in this video, this guy's like, hey, and like my heart goes out for him. The poor guy didn't know what was going on, but he just was like, hey, come over here and come take a bite of my fish. And he pulls out this fish and it looks like it got run over by a car. And I was like, I don't know if they're gonna want to eat that, bro. I think they're gonna want to go back to eating the good stuff.
Man, you guys are some real fucking globetrotters, some real Magellans.
Yeah, call me Harlem, bro.
Yeah. I don't worry about jack shit going on the other side of the pond.
I just know this.
And I stopped worrying about it in 1776, and don't you fucking forget
That's
it.
what I'm saying,
right?
bro. What's the American anthem? You raise me up. So
That's right.
Josh Groban wrote the American national anthem.
No, but so let's run it back for a second.
Sure thing.
Do they have citizenship?
They can't vote. They're not. The squids aren't voting. That's not where we're getting at.
Okay.
The parameters of the bill are that, in plain terms, there's going to be a committee formed newly who will be examining fishing habits and slaughterhouses and manufactories, and they will begin to offer reviews to Parliament and the House of Commons and the like, and say, hey, because we now understand the advanced intelligence of squids, octopuses, cephalopods, and the like, we will recommend you maybe not torture 420 million of them a year.
Huh.
Jesus.
And
okay,
the reason I wanted to bring this up is, well, first I wanted to lay the groundwork a bit. But
baby.
Instead of really offering you a monster, I wanted to offer you a question that we could sort of dig into before the other monsters on the episode show up. I wanted to ask, do you think that the human race has the empathetic capacity to maybe not even just communicate with another creature, another life form that shows some kind of sentience, but if a squid or a monkey or a dolphin shows enough sentience one day, do you think that will change the world's society in some way?
I definitely think it'll change the world in some way. I imagine that you don't mean one day there's just a tribe of monkeys that are as intelligent as fucking Air Bud or something.
I don't know if they're throwing hoops up, no.
But I imagine you mean it's they come up to us and are trying to trade or trying to farm or something fucking crazy, and we're just what do we do?
It's a hard line to draw. I mean, I maybe a decade ago would have thought that the gorillas using sign language would have woken us up like that, but that wasn't it.
Nah, if it's not audible, if I have to do any extra effort,
so
I don't speak sign language, bro.
Maybe it is something like that. Maybe, say, one day a man is in the English Channel running his crawler, and he pulls a lobster out of the water, and he says, "You're gonna pay to the Squid King for that one." And
I'd incinerate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would incinerate him. I would be I would strap a fucking pipe bomb to him and say, "Take that to the Squid King."
So if the squids form some kind of society, do you think there's any kind of coexistence going on here?
I think if we're being honest, humans viewing ourselves as the top of the food chain and the most intelligent creature on the, sapient creature on the planet or whatever, I honestly, I believe it depends on how much of the bottom line it affects for corporations.
Fuck, bro. Ooh, you got me heated.
Because I think that if they're making enough money off of, let's say, these squids, just for this example, and these squids are eventually evolved to a point to where they could communicate, I think governments would say, or, corporations would say, well, you know what? They will find some way to continue to hunt and kill them and harvest them, because again, humans, what we've evolved to respect is money and power. So if anything tries to get in the way of that will be kind of crushed and swept under the rug. I mean, just even outside, it's having empathy is one, thing that I feel like humans don't. It's not that we don't have it; it's that we choose to ignore it. Look at CAFOs here in the United States, and that CAFO stands for Concentrated Animal Feeding Operation. So it's the billions, the giant slaughter farms where they horrendously murder and mutilate pigs and chickens and baby chicks so that we could have Tyson chicken nuggets or things like that. That doesn't...
Ryan starts a sentence and I have no fucking idea where it's ever going. But no, I see what you mean, though. I see what you mean. Like,
yeah.
I don't have a dog in the ring for fucking a dog in the fight, a horse in the ring, whatever the fuck. I don't have any stakes for like the seafood rebellion. I hate seafood. I think it's fucking gross. I can barely stomach like a tuna packet, you know? So, you know, they'll accept me with open arms, and I will give that squid 6 AKs to fight big seafood.
You're
here for the Squid Liberation Army?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, what if, like, for example, one day you wake up and your 4 cats come up to you and they say, we formed a union and we want more food?
I would open up the front door and say, go find it.
Just like my pappy made me do. Go find your meal.
There was something interesting that Ryan said in that previous bit. He had talked about like us really assuming ourselves at the top of the food chain when in this study that they were reading and examining the intelligence of the cephalopods, it said that creatures in the food chain who are neither the bottom nor the apex predator are the ones who seem to be most prone to these intelligent leaps. It's like humans, like squids, you know. They're able to manifest themselves, they're able to insert their will on the ecosystem, but they have to be wily. They have to like look out and make sure something bigger and badder doesn't get them.
You're saying that they like, you know, they're tested a little bit more, they think a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Because they have to worry up and down.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And to tell you the truth, the primary reason I've got fucking squids and octopus on the brain is I'm reading this book right now called Children of Ruin, and it's about this sci-fi future where they terraform a planet and they leave a bunch of octopus there to become like a workforce.
Oh.
And then there's a terrorist plot that wipes out like 99% of humanity, and then humanity comes back like thousands, millennia of a year later, and it's like sentient octopus planet.
So here's the thing: is like no matter what, it doesn't end well for the animal.
You think so?
Yeah, like I don't think they're gonna be able to go Planet of the Apes and have a full-on uprising because we're already destroying every natural ecosystem left on the earth. Like, I mean, unless somehow ants became the size of dogs, I don't think anyone can win.
Defense Force, baby. Well, go ahead, sir.
I just think that, like, you know, it's like Ryan was saying, maybe not exclusively corporations, but I think somebody with like authority would be like, we need to fucking clap these things now before they get us.
So it's not a coexistence thing. It's a one or the other, a winner and a loser.
I think there's a large portion of the population that would want to coexist with the squid folk or with the fucking monkey folk, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, maybe the squid folk, because it's like, okay, yeah, you can have the ocean. We don't need that. But like, I think with like, if it was something terrestrial, something a little more uncomfortable, I think it would be on site.
I mean, a good example of this. I mean, and this is, you know, from fiction, but I mean, look at The Matrix. Have you guys seen the Animatrix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it explains that very thing. It's like the robots essentially, after, you know, hundreds of years, grow to evolve to be sentient. And humanity would rather blow up the earth and blot out the sun with nuclear war than give it up, you know? And I think we're very greedy as a species. Very greedy and very prideful.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, you know, you're part of the problem if you wouldn't accept the squid folk with open arms. I can easily see how you would be fucking freaked out and want to throw down with the squid folk if they started making demands. Mm-hmm. You know,
that's the tough part is the main driving point of conflict in the story is they just cannot communicate. They've been trying for hundreds of years to like somehow exchange information, and they don't speak. They just, there's no way to talk to an octopus.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I mean, so like in this story, do they just have like weapons pointed at each other this entire time, trying to figure out how to communicate?
Yes, it's very like Squid Cold War. I'll swing on them if they swing on me, but we're gonna try. And I'm not done with it. But the whole, like, the main breakthrough point has been them trying to find a way to talk to each other.
Sounds very interesting. But I just don't see it going well. Not in this fucking day and age. Like, we can't even get along with each other. How the fuck are we gonna try and get along with like inter fucking species relations?
Yeah. I mean, it's a step.
Look at any playthrough of Stellaris. Doesn't end well.
Exactly, bro. We're gonna share the star system, I promise, and then
you blow up. Then you blow up their suns.
Go on to like the next part is like, even if we do want to communicate, you know, who knows what their demands are going to be and if we can even fulfill them.
Their demands. Stop killing the coral reefs and stop putting the mega containers through our territory every day.
Sure, but like, is that gonna like
Exactly.
aside from like greedy corporations, like that would stop all world commerce, you know?
Sometimes there's got to be a compromise when the squid folk get the AKs.
Yeah, I grabbed mine.
Yeah.
That's the compromise.
Yeah. I'll call in the specialists, bro. The military don't need them. Fucking like any special forces across this world don't need them. I'll call in my boys British Petroleum to put those squids back in their place.
Dang, dude. You sound like the guys from the Matrix, bro. I'd rather poison the oceans before I give up my freaking
Before I
cruise
talk to a
lines.
squid.
Before I talk to a squid. I'll burn out the sun. These colors don't run.
The fucking BP submarines, bro. Fighting the good fight.
Thank you, BP.
It was only tangentially related to, you know, the subject and object of this show, but, you know, maybe it adds a little facet. You can now play a game with yourself. Every time we talk about a monster, you can think, would we hang out with him if he could talk to us?
Well, I mean, you're not going to want to hang out with the monster I brought for you today.
Oh.
Let me set the stage for you if you're ready to move on.
Absolutely.
Indonesia.
Whoa.
Is that it?
Indonesia. That's it. Nusa Kambangan. I apologize for any pronunciation. Nusa Kambangan Island on Indonesia. Right? We're going to call it Nusa Island from here on out. Okay? Nusa Island is a very, very, very remote part of Indonesia. Not because it's particularly far away from anything, but because the Dutch closed it off to the public in 1905. Okay?
Okay.
And in 1905, the Dutch started building supermax prisons on this island, right?
Yeah.
The only people allowed on this island were the few villagers that already lived there, prisoners, and guards. And it stayed that way until 1996. Okay? And in 1996, they kept the prisons running, kept some of the prisons running, and they opened it up for tourism because this island is also, you know, very beautiful. All right, let me find you some pictures. Here is Nusa Kambangan Island. It's a very pretty place. You know,
Lovely.
Ominous.
don't mind all the crazy fucking prisons on there. This place is bad with the prisons. Like, it's been called Execution Island. It's been called the Alcatraz of Indonesia.
Jeez.
Like, they got fucking terrorists there. They got fucking, like, back in the day, they used to do, like, political dissidents there. Like, if you disagreed with the reigning party, you were getting sent to fucking Nusa Kambangan Island, bro. Like, you were gonna get fucking clapped over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a great place to be, you know. But hey, it's it's very, very pretty. It remained mainly untouched by industrialization and all that shit and blah 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 blah, because it was just the prison island, and some people live there. So once you get a couple miles inland, it is like nature stood still, right? And these people that live on the island, right, the natives, I believe they're Javanese, maybe. I don't know a lot about Indonesia, so if I sound racist, I promise it was an accident. The people that live on this island, right, they just like to go about their simple lives. They fish, they fucking bring that fish back to the village, they cook it up, and they hang out, and they enjoy living on their island paradise. They don't have a lot of electricity, right? Electricity has to get turned on just before nightfall. But it's a little strange because one of the stipulations of tourism is that everybody needs to be off the fucking island by 6 p.m. And if you live there, if you're one of the villagers that live there, if you leave your house after dark, you have to carry a machete with you. And you might be wondering, Dan, where's the cryptid? Where's the cryptid? Blah, 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 blah. We know you're just stretching for time. Well, the reason why you have to bring a machete is because of the Kawuk.
Kawuk.
Okay.
Kawuk.
And the Kawuk is a monitor lizard-like beast. And you might say, oh, yeah, monitor lizards are in the jungle. Big whoop. Except the Kawuk hunts in packs and is bipedal and attacks humans on sight.
That's a Sahagin, bro.
That's a
He is
lizophobe.
the lizard
Zelda.
man.
Oh.
Living in the fucking woods of this fucking like Indonesian prison island. It's nuts. That's pretty much it.
I mean, does he have a body count? Is he?
No, they're like it's. So I found this thing when I was looking up. I was looking at an article and it was like 7 animals that used to be considered cryptids, and it was like 1 Komodo dragon, and I was like, oh, okay, from Indonesia. So I googled Indonesia lizard cryptid, and the Kawuk came up, which I thought was pretty interesting, pretty ironic. And there's not a lot of sightings of this thing because that village is so fucking remote.
Mm-hmm.
The last sighting, I guess, was in 2014. And here's the sighting for you. In 2014, Harry, a fisherman and a guide of the island, saw the creature with his friends. A pack of Kawuks were tracking his deceased friend's corpse. Prior to this, one of his friends had died near the village of Solok Timur. At that time, it was very late, and the corpse had to be moved to a ship so the Kawuks wouldn't attack. Because about 10 or so Kawuks had arrived, they hurriedly moved the corpse. So these things are like scavengers.
Okay.
And they feast on corpses and all that shit. And apparently it's so bad that the locals don't even store stuff that they hunted in their houses.
Wow.
They just have to leave it outside so that the fucking Kawuk doesn't come get them. It's nuts.
When you say that they're bipedal, are they they stand up to attack or maybe to intimidate humans, or these dudes are walking?
They walking. They're running up on you.
Forget that. No,
I don't think exclusively, but I think that when they go into attack mode, they're running at you.
Okay.
Well, I don't like that.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk about why there's no sightings and what's going on with that and blah 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 blah. And it's it's classic. It's classic, right? We've talked about it on this show before. I believe it was all the way back in episode 5 when we talked about the Jabafo 5, the giant spiders of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And that they don't document, they don't do anything because they don't care. They're like content to just be like, all right, well, you know, we got to live life and watch out for these fucking bipedal lizards. But then, like, you get the Western attitude of people who are just like, I must know, I must document, and I must see whatever it is out there. Like, I have to find it, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, these people just don't care. They're like, all right, watch out for the fucking Kawuk. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic. You see it all the time with like these cryptids that have like one sighting, you know, which this is a one-sider, unfortunately. And it's because like people just don't care, you know. There's not fucking Westerners there to like get a whole fucking camera crew out there and make a fucking 5-season A&E show called like Kawuk Hunters and blah 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 blah. And you know, there's probably not a lot of media allowed on the island because it's you know, the Alcatraz of Indonesia as well.
Yeah. Real talk, you think you could take a lizard with a machete?
Fuck no. Dude. I cannot take any cryptid. I can't fight anyone.
You can't fight anyone. I think I could.
No.
Well, also, I mean, they hunt in packs, so, I mean...
Yeah, that's rough.
I think having a machete ain't gonna
like
do you no
10
good.
of them? Even if it was just 10 regular Komodo dragons, like, you're still fucked.
I mean, yeah, Komodo dragons are... There is an island off the... I forgot where. I was watching it in, There's this guy named Mr. Balin, and he does, like eerie short stories that are real. One of them's about that, like, there's this village where it's just, like, the whole island is totally full of Komodo dragons. Like, it is their prime breeding ground. And this dude, like, saw, like, an apple. He was like, I want to go grab the apple. And he went to go get the apple, and he fell out of the tree, and he was just fucking immediately accosted by, like, 12 Komodo dragons who just ripped him apart.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck that.
His mom was like, oh, shit.
I mean, even just a regular Komodo dragon is still gonna fuck you up.
You think?
Not me.
Oh yeah, dude. That thing is gonna fucking destroy your life.
Nah.
Built different.
In the spirit of cooperation, I would at least, like, hear what it has to say before I swing on it, but I think I could take it if it came down to it.
Nah. Have you seen a Komodo dragon?
Have you seen me with a machete, bro?
We forget that Christian slings steel, bro. He might know some ancient technique to, like, banish it back or something.
Have either of you ever seen a screamer?
Who?
This thing is gonna body bag you, my man.
Escrima's the Filipino martial arts, and there's the dual machete techniques, bro.
I've never heard of it. I know a couple Filipinos, and they never told me about it.
Yeah, you'll probably need to stand a chance.
I'll be like Legolas in the jungle.
Nah, man, this thing is gonna handle you like a fucking wet paper towel.
How big are they?
They're huge.
They're fucking massive, dude.
Yeah,
what does that mean? I need context.
They're bigger than a man, the adult ones, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Check this out.
I saw one sink a
Here's
ship.
a size comparison.
There you go.
Oh my god, no. I'm not fighting him.
That thing is gonna wear your face.
I thought we were talking about, like, the wimpy little dudes in Jurassic Park 2 that eat the kid.
No, bro. That's a real life dinosaur that guy's standing behind.
That's a tiger.
Komodo. The name Komodo dragon was not us trying to like be nice and be like, oh, look at this cute thing. He kind of looks like a dragon. This thing will destroy your life.
They can swim too. They can climb trees. Look at that. Let me tell you something. Maybe we could cut this out. But if you notice, no locals are touching those creatures, man.
It's all
white people,
No.
bro.
It's all white people.
Let me go touch and the thing is, their jaws are so powerful, they could snap bones easy. But aside from that, they have a very poisonous venom in their mouth. Like, Komodo dragons are not a hunter that will run up and rip you apart right there. They'll come and they will bite you and run away because they know, and then they'll just follow you because they know at some point you're just going to keel over dead because it's a neurotoxin or something like that. So your body just locks up and you fall over and then they come and eat you alive.
Now imagine that thing running at you
on 2 feet.
on its hind fucking legs. That's the Kawuk, bro. You're not taking them with a machete.
You all know my roommate in college, right? He's a big lizard fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went to his house back in the day, and dude had like a healthy, maybe like 4-footer, and that was it was getting on the edge of too big for me.
Jeez.
Like, he has some big lizards.
Yeah, these are huge.
They're insane. They're going to fucking annihilate you, and that's like their fucking. That's their bread and butter. They got the Komodo dragon on their fucking 50-cent coin over there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, dude. They're going to annihilate you.
Okay. No, I can concede that one. I'm not afraid to face the facts that I'm losing to a pack.
Yeah. No, one is going to fucking go nuts.
Hey, that one's a little tougher.
bro.
That one's a little harder.
Bro, I will. We're gonna. Okay. You know what? The podcast is devolving. I need to find a Komodo dragon going nuts. I need to find it hunting.
No, I'm getting my passport this month. Maybe
Pulling up.
maybe we can make something happen.
Next time, we're going to be those white guys in the back, bro. Dead.
Yeah.
No,
Dead.
no,
Usually
thank
me
you.
and Dan on the boat in the back and Christian on the side. The thing is, they can swim, though, and they're fast, man. Like,
They're
Oh, yeah.
fast.
The Nile monitor, dude. That dude goes crazy in the water.
I love monitor lizards, dude. They're so cool. Have you guys ever seen a blue-tongued skink? I love the skinks, both.
No.
The
I don't know
thick
much about
lizards.
lizards.
Bro, they're so cute.
I've seen every goddamn lizard under the sun living with dude.
Oh, yeah.
Look, if a stingray hadn't taken Steve Irwin, it was going to be a Komodo dragon that did it.
That's true, man. Those things are... Oh, man, they're so cool, bro.
Bro, his dad had stingray in the house. Man,
Yeah, I mean, that's the Kawuk, you know?
His dad also
Fucking
watched us
scary
watch...
lizard in the woods.
Yeah, dude.
Not that interesting. Kind of sucks.
I think it's cool. I never heard of that before.
I like him.
I mean, I don't like him, but, like, he's cool. Like...
We're doing some one-offs. It's the holidays. We're all busy. Not every episode can be a winner.
You gotta put the searchlight, you know, the Mad Tower eyeball on all of the disgusting creatures of the world. They all get a spot.
You saying that we got like
That's
an eye?
right.
You saying that we got like an Eye of Sauron thing kind of going up at the top of the tower?
Yeah, on Dan's.
What's the language they speak in Indonesia?
Is it
Indonesian.
literally millions of languages?
Yeah, I'm sure it's like thousands of dialects. I was actually close to looking up how many different dialects were in India. Sheesh, good luck learning that language.
A lot.
Because I don't know what's going on here, but look at this cute little pic of the Kawuk.
My man, welele.
Welle.
My man.
Hey, you know what it is?
Now, if that ran up on me, I might be a little more inclined to beat its ass with a machete.
I could
Oh yeah,
decap
dude, I
this
could
dude.
take that guy.
I could take the Five Nights at Freddy's Kawuk. Now, Komodo Dragon, no shot. You'll find me on the boat. But yeah,
I'm finding all sorts of crazy shit right now.
he's stuck. Dan's stuck in the Kawuk rabbit hole on Google.
Dude, I'm on Pakistani 9gag right now.
Oh my god. So I think it's funny that you brought up how the Komodo dragon is on their dollar, it's on some of their coins. You know, it's like how it's been integrated into the society just because of the respect that the culture has for it. You know, it's
Yeah, when are they gonna put the Kawuk on a coin?
as soon as we get more than one sighting of it.
I know.
So I know what we're doing next summer. Pack your bags, boys. We're
going to
on-
Java.
All right, everybody.
Yeah,
We're going to Java.
We're gonna go get arrested.
Christian's gonna fight the Kawuk
Yeah, we'll film it.
with a rapier.
Damn, let the rapier dagger come fight the Kawuks.
Yeah. But I mean, I also wanted to talk about maybe the prisons a little bit more, but I can't because apparently you can just find execution videos because they're still
God.
killing people by firing squad over there.
Jeez.
Or something. I don't know. Like, this island just does not sound like the place to be already.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, there's a bipedal lizard man in the woods who's gonna fuck you up.
That's not very wele of you.
No, it's not. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got about the fucking the Kawuk.
Fantastic.
I think it's cool. That's a really cool cryptid. I love cultural cryptids like that. Not where it's like, yeah, man, this guy drank a bunch of like white monster and spilled it on like a fucking chicken embryo and something rose out of it. Yards of like carbon or something.
Spilled
Like,
it on a fucking chicken embryo.
I am a homunculi made from a chicken embryo and a white monster.
Yeah, I love those homunculus videos. Dude's like just growing flesh in a fucking like
Petri
fucking pot or something.
Like a 10-gallon tub in his basement.
Yeah.
See, that guy watched too much FMA. He's like, I'm going to make lust. Believe you me. And instead he got the chicken homunculus that just is like a tube of flesh that spit at him.
Love it.
Are you coming at us with the human tube of meat then?
Yeah, you already know, baby. Chicken homunculus time. No, I'm just kidding. So kind of doubling back to what I said earlier, I think it's really cool when like a culture kind of incorporates things in like, and you see it very prolific. Like, Vikings had like different things, I know there was different types of gods on, like Mesoamerican and like Latin American tribes. So we're going a little tribal on this one. This, I am terrified of the water. Which is funny because I used to be a lifeguard.
As you should be.
So, this is what mine is about.
Oh.
And this is more than just one specific cryptid, but it got me thinking about things in the water, so I looked up what are some freaky things in the water besides everything that lives in the water. So, I've always been terrified of sea serpents ever since I read The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is like the 5th book in the Chronicles of Narnia? The 3rd book? Something like that. So this right here, this video I've sent you all, is the Lake Chaena River Monster. Now, this thing was said to be damn near 30 feet, longer than 30 feet in length. Mm-hmm. And just one day, people saw it. Like, like a park official saw it and people were wigging out. After they looked at it, the park people had said, this is nothing. This is something called frazzle ice, which is essentially like when like a flash freeze occurs, because this is in Alaska, by the way. They said some type of frazzle ice must have gotten wrapped around a rope or something, and it made that perfect serpent-like imitation.
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. And here's why.
I've never trusted a park ranger.
Oh,
not
me
once.
either. Neither. They're paid to keep secrets. Who knows? How come? That's why we don't get all the skinwalker sightings, because they're paid to keep secrets. But so that got me looking down the rabbit hole of like the American serpent, and not just sea serpents, but mainly lake serpents. And this is something that we see a lot of. I'm sure you guys have heard of the Ogapogo, right? Mm-hmm. So Ogapogo, for those of you that don't know, is another type of cryptid / sea serpent that's located in the Okanagan. Oh my God! I practiced saying these and I still can't say it. The Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, and essentially what it is, it's a sea serpent. But there's such a prolific kind of presence of these sea serpents, and the reason why I bring this back is park ranger said that's just ice on a rope. Okay, sure.
Sure, buddy.
Exactly. And people have been seeing these things for hundreds of years. And of course I'm going to go back to what's it called? The Native Americans, because these serpents were very present in their beliefs and things that they said that they just straight up saw. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to do some research on some of the like the native tribes of Canada, but then because that's where this giant beast was sighted. But also, we see a ton of them here in the United States as well. But before that, I just want to call like quick history of kind of how, like we saw these serpents in Native American history and in their lore and in their kind of just like their myths and stuff like that. But it was around the 19th century here in the United States, we kind of caught serpent fever in a way. not just like the native population. This was like the Europeans who had come over because they were also having serpent fever again at their time in the 19th, 18th century, around there. So like there's always those stories of like, fucking Christopher Punk Columbus coming and they're like, oh, we saw UFOs, or as we're traveling across the oceans, we saw these sea serpents and things like that. For some reason, that all just flared up again, like in the 18th, 19th century. They just wanted to start talking about them. So,
Really?
yeah. So like essentially like there was like a sighting of one in Gloucester, Massachusetts in 1817. That was like the first modern era sea serpent sighting in the United States, apparently. And they saw it, over here in Gloucester, and there was like a boat was in dock, and this creature, this serpent, came up and just started like bashed up against it and then sunk. And a ton of people saw it and they said, it's a sea serpent. And then from there on, they kept building on it. Like they started seeing all these different sea serpents throughout the United States. And I believe at that point it was kind of a fad.
Right.
Because they were seeing them way before then, which leads me into these lake serpents that the Native Americans saw. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of those because there's like one that really kind of wigged me out. And it is called the Aputma Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of a native serpent, not native serpent, but like in the way of these tribes believed in it, and it was the Maliseet and the Passamaquoddy. And they believed that, it's kind of funny, its more popular name is the Apotmakin. The Apotamkin, that's what it is. And apparently, I didn't know this, I didn't watch the Twilight movies in their entirety. It showed up in the Twilight movies. There was a name, something or someone was called that. So a lot of people now thought that this was a vampire. It is not.
Oh.
It is a sea serpent or lake serpent. And these people, these Native Americans had this legend that essentially it was a giant red, hairy, fanged serpent that lurks in the Passamaquoddy Bay. And true to Ryan form, the people that ate the most were like drunk sailors or fishermen, but especially incautious children. So it kind of goes back to that kind of fad of mine that I have where it's almost there to kind of teach a lesson, like, hey, don't go near the ice water, little boy, or the...
Oh, smart.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
or the long-haired sea serpent will pull you out and rip you apart. But another cool telling of this, and they're not sure which tribe this origin story, because with one of them, it's just it existed and it's always been there. It's, fauna.
Right.
But in one of these stories from one of these tribes, it actually used to be a human woman who disrespected a serpent or a snake, and she was turned into it. Thus, that's why it has hair, and other serpents don't have hair. So in this specific telling of this in this origin story for this creature, it was like a judgment or a punishment because a human disrespected this serpent, or disrespected a serpent, and they were turned into one in turn. Which was kind of cool. Because there's another story about a warrior, and this is from a different tribe, about like a warrior. Let me find out which tribe it was. This was from the Blackfoot tribe, and they have a story about a warrior eating a horned snake, and in turn he was turned into a giant horned serpent that lives in the lake near them. So, and the reason why for the Blackwater tribe, or the Blackfoot tribe, they use snakes as and serpents as like protective wards. So this kind of goes back to what you were saying, Dan, with the Kawuk, where they have it on their dollar. It's kind of ingrained in their culture. The Blackfoot tribe would venerated these large snakes. We see the Passamaquoddy and the Maliseet or the Maliseet, my apologies, where they feared it, and it was used to scare people away or to kind of rein children in, or it might have just been a naturally aggressive entity. You look at the Blackfoot tribe, and it is something to be venerated. It is respected and feared, and they were terrified of this horned serpent. But they also kind of looked at it and said, hey, this thing is extremely powerful. This is not of the natural order of things. It's not a regular occurring creature. So there's something ethereal or supernatural about it. So it must be powerful. So they would put snake charms on their, like sacred objects, or they put them on their teepees, or like their medicine men would really have like these snake symbols on them. So that's one of the ones that I thought was really cool. But you guys mentioned Thunderbirds before, right?
We haven't. We made passing remarks about them. But we haven't talked
haven't gotten an episode
on them, a topic.
So there's another serpent of the Americas, and it's the tribe it's associated with are the Ojibwe, the Algonquin, the Ottawa, the Menominee, Shawnee, and the Cree. There's a serpent called I'm going to absolutely horrendously butcher this. It is the Mishijinnabig, and it's a exactly the Mishijinnabig. And it is there's more than one. They're these giant lake serpents. And they are naturally aggressive, and they go out of their way to hunt and kill humans when they're on the lake.
Oh no.
And again, so that's already terrifying. Anything in the water scares me. But the cool thing about them is that their sworn enemies are the Thunderbirds.
Oh no, they're not battling like fucking
I like
Pokemon.
that. I like the rivalry.
Right? So there's like this giant sea serpent whose natural predator or enemy is the Thunderbird, who can call down like bolts of lightning and fight them off. So I'm really interested now to look more into how these tribes viewed Thunderbirds. Like, did they venerate the Thunderbird because it was able to drive off this serpent? Because, a lot of these tribes, they lived off the land. Well, all of them did. It's not like one went to Walmart, all these tribes were living off the land.
Christ.
So if they're terrified of one thing that's keeping them out of the water or keeping them from a certain way of eating or supporting themselves, do they venerate the Thunderbird? Are they scared of the Thunderbird? It's just really cool to see how these like cryptids or these like lore creatures from Native American history, how these tribes interacted with them. There was just something. It's always something that's really, I've always thought was really, really cool, because we did a Native American unit when I was in 4th grade, and I got the Passamaquoddy, and I was actually looking up like different like myths and stuff like that, and I kind of I remembered that, and I was like, man, this is pretty freaking cool.
It kind of kicks ass.
It does. And then, I had one of the guys who was like, our teacher was like, oh, let's find like some folklore about them. And one of the guys got Navajo, and he's like, yeah, there's something out there, man. And like, it looks like a coyote and it walks. And I was that was my first interaction with a skinwalker story.
Oh, they wake you up young.
Yeah. I just was like, we don't stop the car when we're in Navajo country. Don't stop the car at night. But again, there are no real sightings of these specific creatures, but you can see throughout the Americas why I would be more inclined to believe that there's some undiscovered giant serpentine creature in the area, because they've been seen here throughout centuries, People from hundreds of years ago have seen these snakes and these giant serpents. And again, these are very remote areas. Like they had like a random park cam is what caught this. People aren't just like out and about at the bottom of the lake in Alaska
checking it out. Yeah.
But here's the cool thing though. Another lake monster in Alaska, the Liamanna lake monster. Some people call it Illy. Have you guys familiar with this?
No,
Illy.
Well, it's funny because our boy from River Monsters went to go try and find it.
Big ups to my man.
There's an episode of River Monsters.
Animal.
I know, right? He's like, oh man, the people are afraid. I'm gonna go hunt a mythical creature in like the frozen lakes of Alaska. They said the thing was like 30 feet in length, knocking boats over and stuff like that.
Well, what was he gonna do?
What is he gonna do, bro? What he does, man? What is he? Is he Australian or is he like English? Because if he's Australian, he'll jump in there and manhandle it. You know what they're like out there, bro.
Yeah, he will. He will.
But it's just kind of cool to see. We see reports of it. We see like a cool looking video, or we see like what could this possibly be? in like footage cams, like trail cam footage or like a plane flying over, and then you look back at these legends and folklore and you say, oh, they've seen it for the, however many hundreds of years. It's something that's been a staple of their culture. They've seen them constantly. Kind of like how dragons are seen throughout the different cultures across the world. And it's just cool to see how it kind of pop up in popular media. I love river monsters, and I remember watching that episode, and I just was like, oh man, this guy's hunting like a cryptid. He's out here like going to the bottom of the lake trying to find something that up to this point only like native tribes had been like, oh, it's out there, like be careful. And then of course, if there's money to be made, Animal Planet threw it at river monsters and said, go find that creature down there.
Go get it. Yeah, we need that thing on TV tonight.
and he just was like, sure.
Oh my god.
So yeah, and like it's not like there's been sightings of things like that, or things that have, like I think it was in the UK somewhere, or it might have been here, I forgot. Some natural disaster occurred and like the water receded really quickly. And they saw like a giant serpentine path, like giant as in like it was like 5 buses long off the coast. You could see it in the water.
They
and,
caught this lizard sleeping.
Literally, he's like, oh, fuck. Dashed back into the water. But like they were like, what is this? It's huge. And it's like, it's not like it's a pipe, because a pipe just goes one direction. It looked like a giant snake had been moving throughout like the lake bed or the ocean bed. And then when the water receded, it followed the water. But the actual like outline of where it had been was just like there in plain as day for everyone to see.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's like, my, not single cryptid, but something I thought was really cool. Lake serpents. Because I'm always terrified of water, and if anything can capsize a boat, even if it's like a like a walrus, I'm terrified of it.
A walrus?
Imagine that, bro. You're over there on your canoe, and the walrus just pulls up and knocks the boat over. Then the Ojibwe serpent eats you.
Well, I mean, it's lovely, lovely Earth we live on. We got fucking bipedal reptile men, fucking
squids with rights,
water creatures. You know what? I'm just happy today that we didn't cover a single creature with hair on its body.
Well, technically,
real slick episode.
That one snake has the red hair, so
yeah, fair enough. No mammals. Look, if you're a mammal listening to this episode, turn it off. All right.
This one wasn't for you.
This one's for the cephalopods. This one's for the reptiles. This one's for everyone else. All right.
Hell yeah.
If you're a mammal, fuck off.
It's a big serpent.
Did y'all see that new video of that really big jellyfish?
Yeah.
The other day?
No.
There was a big jellyfish somewhere.
Things like
just one?
I hope.
I hope.
Can you link it? Did they name it?
It's not like the Portuguese man of war. Like, it's not translucent. It's like big and fat and flappy.
Yo, hold up. Let me see new jelly.
Let me find the new jelly just dropped.
Is it the Phantom Jellyfish?
We're in the gray zone of me chopping it to make it look like I had the picture ready, so y'all can say whatever you want.
I'm busy.
Oh, interesting.
It's the Phantom Jellyfish, bro.
Oh my.
Exactly.
That ain't real.
He looks like a tarp monster.
That ain't real.
Well, they only show up every 100 years or something. This is like the 8th time they've seen it since discovering it.
Do we have a picture of this thing?
Yeah, I got
I'll put one in for you. Yeah, you got it.
A real one?
That's how it looks.
Oh my god. What
do you mean
fuck
real?
Is that?
What are you trying to say?
The one I posted before.
Sorry, I saw Ryan's picture. I'm like, Christian, are you pulling my fucking chain here?
Oh,
dog?
You mean like the joke picture? No, there it is. That's him.
How big, dog? I need a size comparison.
All right. Let's have a talk here about the 33-foot Phantom Jellyfish.
God. Yo. Is this like the killer or the fucking giant squid?
Bro, you will never catch me in the ocean. Ooh.
Look at that. That's a UK bus.
They put it in the ocean.
Holy shit, dude.
And just hearing the story of like the river receding and then you just caught a glimpse of it really made me think about this jellyfish.
Well, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Dude, we went to the aquarium in New Orleans, which was all right, I guess, but the shed blows it out of the water. We're spoiled, us Chicagoites. Right?
Yeah.
Am I right, fellow city slickers?
That's what I'm saying, son. I bleed Cubby Blue.
But they had fucking... Dude, they had jellyfish there. Hate them.
You're not a fan?
No. Ooh, the giant jellyfish cryptid wiki? Let's fucking go.
We'll see you next week for that one. Hold up.
Damn. I did not know about the phantom jellyfish.
So, while we're kind of winding down here, I mean, before we do, Ryan, you have anything else for this horrifying array of slick lake demons?
No, I'm good.
I was just going to say, we've got a pretty special event on our calendar in the next week or so.
Yes, we do. We've been hyping it up for a good little bit. We will be filming our ghost hunting experience, I guess is what I would call it. It's going to be an experience. We're going to be doing that. We're all going home for the holidays, pretty much. Yes, we'll be together, but I don't know if we're going to be all... We're going to make some stuff happen. We'll record an episode.
Sure.
See what's up. Who knows when it will come out, but, we'll have it for the backlog, don't worry. We're not going anywhere. The holidays are just a little busy for everyone. Okay? We're still working on Rogue Signal. We're still working on making other stuff. And we're still working on this podcast. So if you're sitting out there and you're like, it's been 10 days. It's been 10 days since MTR last uploaded, which I'm maybe like 3 of you out there thinking that. We're not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. We're just all going through changes. All right, am I right, fellas?
That's right, and changes are good. Unless you're changing into a giant lake serpent.
Yeah, right, my fellow humans. We all change and metamorphosize at times. Yeah, it's natural.
Just gotta trim the talons. Fucking
shave my
go to
back.
the store, pick up some more flies for the lizard tank, and it's all good, man. Just you wait. We got big things coming for MTR.
I'm excited.
So, I got nothing else. What do you guys got?
Well, how about we, tell the people if they want to tell us about their haunting that they experience over Christmas, because I know going back home is a little haunting for me. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah, if you want to get in contact with the show, you can hit us up at Mad Tower Radio on Twitter. You can hit us up at Mad Tower Radio on Instagram, and you can hit us up at supermadtower@gmail.com. Send us in your stories. We would love to read them on the show, without a doubt. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys. This is Mad Tower Radio, ending transmission.
A frequency beyond space and time.
Unspeakable knowledge. It is Mad Tower Radio.
Like Christian puts in the little techno at the end.